everyone, it's Tara and Chloe, and this is our 5-month update. So the biggest revelation this month has been the fact that she is sleeping through the night and in her own room. Yes. So how did we do that? Well, as you know, if you watched my last update, I was rather ill, and it was around the time of my birthday, and I was just feeling really weak and drained. So we started giving her formula just in the evenings, just before bed, just to give me time to recuperate and to and to get my energy back and everything. But we continued with that because it seemed to have helped her feel fuller longer, because it is a bit thicker and fuller than breast milk, which is a bit more watery. So we've continued with that. Now, about 2 weeks after that, I had a friend over, and she recommended sleep feeding. Like a few hours after you put them to bed, and before you go to bed, just give them a little bit, maybe 60, maybe 90 ml, just to sort of top them up. Yes, put in your belly. And this just helps them feel fuller even longer, with the hope that they'll sleep even longer. So this helped a bit, and so we continued with that. Then we were getting to the point where I had recovered from my illness, but I was still super drained from just getting up in the middle of the night. I was still super drained from just getting up in the middle of the night and feeding her for several times. So I'm losing my train of thought with all your screaming. So one weekend, my husband took her, and he said, I'm gonna try and just let her sort of cry it out. And it wasn't completely, cold turkey, let her cry it out. He would comfort her if it had been like 10 minutes of crying and that. But usually it'd be like a few minutes, like not even a few minutes, just a minute or two of crying, and then she'd fall asleep for 15 minutes. But that would kind of go on for an hour or two. So anyways, we did that for 3 nights. He had her, I slept in another room. I could not listen to this. And then after that, it was a Sunday evening, and he had to go to work the next day. And we thought, let's try her in the big bed. Now, she had been napping in the big bed, her cot. Well, what helped us get to that point as well was because in Canada, she was sleeping in a bigger, it was a pack and play. So she had a lot more room. So she was quite comfortable napping there. And so on this Sunday night, we thought, let's just try her. After she has her nighttime formula, let's put her in the big bed and just see what happens. She slept from 9:10 p.m. till 7:15 a.m. the next morning. And he had to wake her up. He woke her up to bring her to me because she has never gone that long without eating. So we were worried. And since then, knock on wood, where's wood? She has been sleeping through the night in her own bed, in her own cot. And hardly, I think 1 or 2 nights, she's made a little bit of a fuss, but she goes back to sleep. It doesn't last very long. So you've been very good, and we've been very lucky with that. Yeah, sorry, I had to put her down. She was getting cranky and sleepy, but I still want her to be in the video, so she's just gonna have a nap behind us instead of in her cot. Another thing to be said, and I think this is probably the biggest reason why she's sleeping so well in the cot, is because in the Moses basket, it was too small. It was so constricted. She was like scratching the sides like she was an animal in a cage, like desperate to have more room. And now when she sleeps, she's like arms wide open in her bed. She also has another new sleeping position, which is 2 fingers in the mouth, and then she kind of like covers her eyes a bit. Anyways, so yes, having the space was like such a huge difference, and I think she's much happier, and that's why she can sleep through the night in the bigger bed. Now she's completely done with her jabs now. She finished it quite a while ago actually, and she doesn't need anything till she's 1 year old. The last set of jabs was the hardest for Chloe anyways. She was quite sluggish for a while, and she wasn't eating as well as she had been. She sort of picked up in the last 3 weeks or so now, but for at least a couple weeks after the last set, she was just not eating as much, and she lost a little bit. She didn't lose weight, but she didn't increase as she should have, but she's made up for it now, which is good. So we've started a few more classes. She's been to baby massage, and baby massage was lovely. It's really nice to see how you should handle the different parts of the baby's body and what you can do to soothe them, to help with tummy problems, teething and all that. But in the classes, she did not care at all what I was doing to her. She was more interested in watching the other babies because she's just fascinated by it, and just she would watch the teacher when the teacher was speaking and look at the other children, babies and moms. So I don't think she really appreciated the massage like I would really appreciate a massage. She's also started swimming lessons. So she's been to 2 classes so far. And the first class, I think just to ease them in a bit, and also there was also an introduction, they only had 10 minutes in the pool. So that was quite fun, and I think she really enjoyed that whole full 10 minutes in this big, huge bathtub. And it was quite warm, which is good. The second class, they were in there for pretty much 30 minutes. So by the end, she was getting a little bit like, okay, I'm hungry now. I've worked up an appetite. But she does generally really like it. She's happy in the water. And they're just teaching them basic, little skills. It's nothing she's really going to retain, but hopefully over time, she'll recognize the words and what it means, and she'll pick it up. At least that's the idea. Yes. This is another thing she's discovered, is her feet. She's holding them in her hands, and she's also bringing them to her mouth. Also, the first class she went to, she didn't have a bathing cap or didn't do anything with her hair, but it just kept going in her eyes, especially when water comes over their face, because they're trying to get them totally comfortable with the water. You love the water. And it would just go straight in her face. So at the second class, I bought a baby bathing cap, but it was way too big. It was only like one size, and I actually got it on eBay. It was just a few pounds, and it's super cute, but it was too big. So the second class, I put her hair in a ponytail. So as you can see, her hair is getting a little bit difficult to deal with. I'm just worried that if I put an elastic in or some clips that she has now, that she might take it off and find it, play with it, eat it, heaven forbid, choke on it. So we've tried a few things. The ponytail looks a bit ridiculous, but it got her hair out of her face for that swimming lesson. And the clips are quite good. We actually experimented with a few different hairstyles. It's actually about 5-6 inches long now. And we did some really cute headshots for her. Now, she's made a lot of progress this month. So many changes, and it's like a bit scary because for a while it was one after the other, after the sleeping and all that. And another big milestone has been rolling over. So she had been doing like a quarter roll from her back to a side. And she would achieve that by lifting up both legs and just like slamming them to one side. And now that's developed into, it was kind of like a slow-mo roll at the beginning. She does it much faster now. But she had both legs over, and then she'd kind of reach over, and then her arm would get stuck. So she did the first time on her own, and this is what happened. I was eating an apple. Now also another sort of milestone. She's been watching me eat. She watches me drink, she watches me put food to my mouth. Anyways, on this occasion, I was eating an apple, and she was like, mouth open, like really wanting this in her mouth since it was going in my mouth. So I let her, for the first time, have like a little lick of my apple. And she ended up just really sucking on it. So I would take a few bites, make it smooth, and let her have a little suck. And she was totally loving it. Anyway, so we had this apple together. First time eating solids, I don't know. And I just went to put it in the food bin. Same room, just had a half wall between us. Put it away, came back, and she was on her tummy. Could not believe it. So I actually missed the first time she actually rolled over. But I caught it on video another time in the day when she did it. And since then, she just does it all the time. It's actually quite hard because I'll put her on the playmat, and normally I would, put her down and I could be on my laptop doing something, or I could go put in a load of laundry and she's just fine playing with the toys. But now she flips over so much and she doesn't know how to flip back that she gets stuck there. So she turns over, she's like happy for a minute, and then she's like, Another thing I don't think she's quite realized yet is that her arms will help her push her up. She's like, I'm on my tummy. Yeah, that's the noise she makes. And she's like, help me, because it's much more tiring if you're not using your arm. We've also had great weather here in London for, well, a few odd weekends. So she's been outside for the first time, well, not for the first time. For the first time enjoying nice warm weather. We just sat in the sunshine, she was in the shade, and she absolutely loved the fresh air and just lying down and looking at that beautiful blue sky and seeing the green leafy trees around. So yeah, we've had a really good month, lots of progress. I'm much happier because I can sleep through the night just like she can. And one last bit, slightly personal and a bit embarrassing, and only for the people who watch to the end of my videos. I've been losing my hair, and it's supposed to peak at around 3-4 months after you've had your baby. And it certainly did, like clockwork for me. It's reduced a little bit now, but my hair has been everywhere. And it's not painful just to see, but it's such a pain to pick up, literally everywhere, in her toys, in the bed, the toilet, in the shower. I lose it so much. And this is because you tend to not lose your hair because of the hormones while you're pregnant. And then your head kind of makes up for it once those hormones have gone. So I'm basically losing all the hair that I had kept for 9 months. So I think it is getting better. So please let me know in the comments below if you've had other hair issues like that, losing your hair, and also other milestones that your 5-month-old has met. Do they roll over and not roll back again? And how can I help her? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Bye. Say bye. Or eat your foot. Say bye. Good girl. Say bye-bye. Say bye. Bye, people.